we worked with the Genesis Trust. They are a charity supporting homeless and vulnerable people in Bath on their journey from crisis to independence. Our project is an Instagram page named 555 Wellbeing. We gained inspiration for this from one of the Genesis Trust's existing projects called 5 Ways to Wellbeing. This is a project that offers creative and practical activities to support and enable people's journeys towards healthier, more fulfilling lives. Having seen the excellent work this project had done for the Genesis Trust, we were drawn to the concept of creating something that helps to nourish your own mental well-being, particularly after experiencing 2 national lockdowns this year. So, the project Team 18 created was an Instagram challenge called 555 Wellbeing. We also created an Instagram account in order to launch our challenge. The purpose of our Instagram challenge was to make participants aware of how to look after their physical and mental well-being. We came up with 5 ways to do this, which were giving back, connecting with others, being active, being mindful, and learning. The participants of the challenge were encouraged to complete any of the above activities, tag other people on Instagram, and donate £5. Tagging people on Instagram encouraged other people to donate and complete the challenge. This is where the name 555 Wellbeing comes from. At the start of our project, we adopted the SMART framework in order to plan, monitor, and evaluate our goals throughout this project. We utilise SMART goals because they provide a clear, conceptual framework, but also because they enable us as a group to constantly measure and analyse our goals and their completion. Our first SMART goal was to raise £300 of unrestricted funds for the Genesis Trust to use, as and how they wish. The figure of 300 stemmed from Hilary, our contact at the Genesis Trust, who advised us that this number would be greatly beneficial to the charity. Another goal of ours was to reach 100 participants within our challenge who successfully completed the challenge. We chose 100 because we worked on the basis that each member of the group would nominate 5 people, and that this would hopefully continue. We also wanted to gain 100 followers on our Instagram page in order to raise awareness across social media. The number of 100 was generated on the basis that everyone who completed the challenge would also hopefully follow our Instagram page.
We established 2 key goals for our project: raising funds and awareness. By prioritising Hilary's recommendations, as we identified her as a key player in Mendelow's matrix with high power and interest. Our aim to raise funds was primarily driven by the need to address financial struggles, enabling the charity to continue operating in the short term. Assessing the long-term impact of our project, we believed raising awareness would increase understanding of the charity's activities and encourage participants to continue supporting the charity after our project ends. The challenge is based on the 5 Ways of Wellbeing, which are part of the Life Skills project, one of the charity's core projects continuing during the pandemic. Therefore, we wanted to raise awareness of this. Considering the worsening pandemic situation, we ensured the challenge activities were accessible and felt it was increasingly important to encourage people to look after their well-being. We believe that encouraging donations through the Giving Back activity would aid the success of our campaign, as encouraging actions are said to be core to the ongoing success of a business. We launched the challenge on the 2nd of November and it ran for 2 to 3 weeks. We conducted our challenge via Instagram for various reasons. Firstly, Genesis Trust were eager to target young people, a demographic they were lacking support from. Instagram as a social media platform has a high proportion of young people compared to other platforms. As statistics found that 18 to 34-year-olds make up approximately 53.6% of Instagram users within the UK. Instagram is also a leading social media platform for watching stories among Generation Z and millennials in the UK, and the nature of the challenge was better suited to stories rather than normal posts due to their higher visibility on the platform. As the challenge took place during lockdown, using Instagram ensured all the activities could be completed virtually. Another attractive feature of Instagram is the highlights, which give potential followers an instant understanding of our offering. We created an Instagram account at 555 Wellbeing to track the progress of our challenge and promote it regularly. It also facilitated insights into the engagement derived directly from our campaign and allowed us to interact with local businesses and followers of the charity to encourage participation. On our account, we created 2 highlights, one with the instructions and one collating all completed participant stories. Additionally, we created a template for participants to post on their story once they completed the challenge, to make it easier to get involved and ensure participants felt comfortable, as they were not obliged to post photos of activities. Additionally, using a consistent image reinforces the challenge and charity in people's minds, including the steps of the challenge. In total, we had 9 posts on our account, varying in content, enabling us to deliver varying messages. These included 2 posts introducing the challenge, an introductory video and template, 1 collage of photos from the life skills sessions, 2 collages of participants of our challenge, and 2 relating to the competition, and 1 for World Kindness Day. And our final post thanked our audience and directed them to Genesis Trust account. We posted an initial promotional video in both our account and the charities to introduce the challenge and ensure all the information to participate was in one place. Research shows there has been a massive generational shift away from static content consumption to video by Generation Z and Millennials, therefore increasing engagement in our desired target audience. Furthermore, a useful technique to encourage behaviour change consists of using role models that demonstrate the desired behaviour. Therefore, we included video examples of ourselves completing the 5 activities within our promotional video. We promoted this video on Instagram in order to further raise awareness, spending £49 promoting the post for 7 days. The graph on this slide shows the dramatic increase in the reach of our account following the promotion of the post on the 7th of November. We narrowed our target audience of the promotion to residents of Bath aged 18 to 35, as people are more likely to empathise if the charity is local and therefore participate. To ensure our challenge kept momentum in the second week, we introduced a competition, whereby completing all the steps of the challenge, participants were entered into a random draw to win a £50 Amazon voucher. A study which assessed the use of cash or gift card incentives to increase survey participation found that populations who were offered incentives responded at higher rates than groups who were not offered these incentives. However, increasing the amount of the prize did not result in a linear increase in response rates. Therefore, we believe dividing our budget between the promotion and competition would yield a higher return on investment. To ensure our competition was unbiased, we used a random number generator to select the winner. Additionally, we chose to set up our fundraising page via Just Giving, as it is a reputable site boasting 22 million users worldwide with a 4.8-star excellent rating on Trustpilot, therefore increasing donor trust, making people more likely to donate. Our Just Giving page includes background information about Genesis Trust, information about the 555 Wellbeing Challenge, and regular updates with all of our Instagram posts. We set up a text donation campaign whereby people texted 555 Wellbeing to 70085 to donate £5 via donor. We believe this would appeal to our target audience as it is a convenient and popular donation method, particularly as the market for phone-paid services, including text to donate, has been growing.
Project planning and scheduling was vital for the overall success of our project to ensure targets and deadlines were defined and achieved by the team. Scheduling is defined as the timing and sequence of tasks within a project. This rang true the entirety of our project, as the timeliness of meeting deadlines, followed by the order in which they are completed, was crucial for the effective delivery of our challenge. We created a Gantt chart to help the team to clearly visualise our key deadlines and the periods for which certain parts of the work would have to be completed. This enabled the team to be organised in our operations and allowed for more efficient working, which was in need more than ever, with working remotely and no in-person meetings as a team due to the pandemic. Overall, project planning and scheduling was crucial for the successful execution of our project.
Stakeholder management is a very important component of project management that focuses on effectively managing stakeholder relationships. Managing stakeholder needs is a dynamic and continuous process from the conception stage of the project to the final handover. We applied Carlson's theory of managing stakeholder relationships. At the planning stage of our project, we mapped out the stakeholders that would be affected or could affect the project. These include the charity, Genesis Trust, the charity's clients who may be vulnerable, the University of Bath, and our target audience, who would be taking part in our challenge. We identified these key groups and incorporated Mendelow's power interest matrix to analyse the stakeholders' powers and interests. From this, we identified that our key stakeholder would be Genesis Trust, as they have the highest power and interest. Furthermore, we applied Mitchell et al.'s stakeholder salience theory to categorise the importance of each stakeholder needs based on power, legitimacy, and urgency, as seen in the table. Genesis Trust were ranked the highest importance of all the categories and thus had a higher stakeholder salience. Therefore, we decided to appoint Laurelie as responsible for communicating and responding to Genesis Trust needs. To maintain an effective, positive relationship with the charity, we adopted a strategic approach to incorporate feedback and reflection into our project planning. This was through agenda-led meetings. These set out clear action plans and follow-ups to keep continuously reviewing progress of the project and maintain a positive working relationship with Genesis Trust.
Team management was one of the principal project management theories that we would explore in greater detail. A leading theory in team management is the team development model created by Tuckman, identifying 4 key stages: forming, storming, norming, and performing. To recognise and distinguish these stages to overcome the challenges they may present was vital for the cohesion of the team as a whole, and thus the successful implementation of our project as a group. Forming is where the members are concerned with inclusion and dependency issues, so we organised an informal virtual social drinks meeting to get to know one another and begin to form connections as a group. Storming highlighted that members often deal with chaos, conflict and fight, so in an attempt to avoid this, we created agendas before our meetings with key stakeholders to ensure we had reviewed the progress of the work and were all happy with the topics to be discussed further. Norming started when the group begins to cooperate and develop mutual support. The roles of the individual group members are clarified as members begin to establish group norms. This was useful guidance as to how we would reach this stage, so by identifying and establishing our different roles within the team, this would enable us to work more efficiently together. Performing is the period in which the group is focused on the completion of the goals and members are concerned with effectively working together. This is a crucial time for building team cohesion. Therefore, by the time of launching our social media campaign, we were confident to have reached this stage, due to really coming together as a united team focused on the delivery and execution of the challenge.
Risk management, a critical component of project management whereby a risk assessment is created to identify and classify the risk in terms of its magnitude and identify a suitable mitigation strategy to reduce the risk. The risk assessment was reviewed on a regular basis by the team and Genesis Trust, the key stakeholder. All of the risks identified were categorised as low risk. An example of an emerging risk we responded to was the second lockdown. We implemented a strategy to add emphasis to our social media posts regarding social distancing and government guidelines. Resource management. The majority of our resources were used in online platforms such as Instagram, Just Giving, and the Canva design app. To promote our challenge to specific demographics, we implemented £49 of paid advertising to increase the awareness of the campaign. A further £50 of financial resources was invested as a competition prize to one winner.
We will now move on to evaluate the social impact of our project. Social impact is the effect on people and communities that happen as a result of a project. As previously mentioned, we have 2 key project aims. The first, to raise awareness for the Genesis Trust, and the second, to raise funds. Our aim was to primarily raise awareness within the 18 to 24-year-old age bracket by using Instagram. This was laid out to us by our charity coordinator, Hilary, who did not believe the charity had successfully reached this group prior to our project. We made sure to adopt Dee's method of continuous engagement in innovation and modification by following people who already followed the Genesis Trust Instagram page and engaged with their posts. We also shared our project posts on our personal Instagram accounts and encouraged friends and family to get involved with the challenge. We could view our performance using Instagram Insights. From our promotional post, we could see that 74% of the audience fell into the age bracket of 18 to 24-year-olds.
The promotion increased our page reach to 7,162 users of the desired target group. This really emphasised that we reached our target of raising awareness in the younger generations, specifically 18 to 24-year-olds. During our campaign, we also managed to feature on Bath Radio. Our campaign, Organically Reaching Bath Radio, shows how engaging and successful our challenge was, as well as our promotional and marketing posts. Bath Radio is described as a radio by and for the community, with an emphasis on community ownership on a non-profit basis. The shout-out increased the awareness of our challenge, but it also increased the awareness of Genesis Trust as a whole, as they discussed the amazing work that Genesis Trust carry out and made people aware that they help vulnerable people across Bath. Finally, upon completion of our project, we managed to raise £383.85, succeeding our goal of £300 significantly. When looking at the funds in isolation, they don't create a social impact. However, the effects are realised once they are invested back into the charity. All the work the charity does really makes differences to vulnerable adults' lives. And there is a study illustrating that after training vulnerable adults, they are more likely to enter the labour market and experience an increase in social inclusion. These 3 points really emphasise how we created a social impact whilst carrying out our project.
Upon reflection, a key change we would have made if we were to repeat the challenge was the timing of introducing the voucher to increase participation within our Instagram challenge. We introduced the voucher in the second week of the competition, with the objective to incentivise participation. However, it is not certain whether this was successful, as we had more entries in the first week, without the voucher incentive. Our recommendation would therefore be to introduce the voucher upon the start of the challenge, supported by Hull's incentive theory, which proposed that people are attracted towards behaviour that lead to rewards. The voucher acts as an incentive for people to participate in the challenge, and incentives should always entail higher effort. Therefore, we believe if we had incorporated the incentive from the onset, we would have encouraged more participation and hence more donations, whilst simultaneously reaching a wider audience. To overcome the storming stage of the team management process, the Myers-Briggs type indicator would have been useful to enable us to understand each other's personality types better. Research demonstrates the tolerance and understanding of another's individual's behaviours and actions are the largest benefits that the Myers-Briggs type indicator has to offer in assisting teams to become more effective. Therefore, understanding each other better would have allowed us to work with greater efficiency as a team and advance onto the performing stage sooner. We successfully identified and analysed stakeholders who can impact or be impacted by our project, ensuring we achieved our goals. Taking a strategic approach allowed the team to maintain a positive working relationship with all stakeholders, which has been crucial to achieving the project objectives, supported by positive feedback we received from the charity on completion of the challenge. Upon assessing the success of our SMART goals, we failed to meet our goal of reaching 100 participants of the challenge, as we only had 33. One potential reason for this is because our group had many mutual contacts. Therefore, while we expected each of us to encourage 10 people to carry it on, many of these overlapped. Additionally, we did not take into consideration that some people would choose to only donate, rather than get involved in the Instagram challenge, for example if they do not use Instagram. Another issue was that some participants did not tag us once they posted the template to their story, meaning if we were not following them, we would not pick it up. It is likely this would mainly be followers of Genesis Trust, as we were not able to follow all of them, and therefore may have missed if they posted, leading to a lower number of participants than the goal set. A different tracking method may have been more useful. We considered hashtags, but this would have required an actual post, which would not have worked as well for the challenge. Instead, we could have utilised a greater variety of social media platforms, such as Facebook, to further increase accessibility and scope of networks. A key aspect of our project that worked well was that we not only met our goals to aid the charity, but we also had a wider community impact, by encouraging people to nurture their well-being during this difficult time. This was reinforced by feedback from Hilary, whereby she stated, "You have done so well by not only raising awareness and funds for Genesis Trust, but helping all the people who took part to nourish their well-being."